What's going on, family? So I got a little gift for Carlos Flip. It's right here. A gift from me to him. So let's check him out. Let's see his excitement. I know he's gonna get happy when he sees this. Got him a flip hat. Woo! Welcome to our second episode, the Flip and Seats podcast. I'm your boy Junior, also known as Seats.
And I'm your boy Carlos, also known as Flip. We're super excited that you join us, taking that beautiful time of yours, the most precious thing you got.
I'm excited, man. I'm excited. We made it through the first one. It's our second one.
Yes, sir.
We've been having good feedback in regards to the first one. On Wednesdays, we're gonna be doing it in Spanish as well.
Español.
So this is just gonna continue to get better and better. Before we start, I have a surprise for my boy that he doesn't know about.
Oh, come on. You gonna do me like that? You gonna do me like that? That ain't right.
Woo! Yeah, so you ready?
Sure.
All right, here you go. You ready? Okay, here we go.
How you gonna do me like
They
that?
already know, because I already recorded a little something
Get outta
before you
here.
got here.
Get out
So
of
here it is. Just is a little Christmas present for you.
Get out of here.
Alright,
Bro, how you
I
gonna
want-
do
I
me
wanna
like
make
that?
sure
Now
to
I'm gonna
record-
look like the bad guy,
You
man.
know, hopefully you like it. All right. So here you go. You gotta open it.
You are gonna get an honest feedback.
Yeah. You just look at the camera. All right, and see if you like it, my brother. See if you like it.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't.
Yeah, boy. Come on, man.
No.
Come on.
Yo, I knew it was suspicious when Mom sent me the flip. Ooh. Yo, Hat, I love you.
Hey, come on.
Come on. We gonna just gonna set this right here. Hold on. I got a big head though.
Go ahead. Adjust it, my brother.
Man, you gonna
Adjust
show
it.
my bad hair?
We're gonna
days and
transition.
stuff?
We're gonna transition from the seats to the what? Hey,
Bruh.
oh, got him.
Yo, this man. Thank you.
You like
bro.
it? You like
What?
it? All right.
Yo, soon y'all gonna get my my Instagram, my Flip Life Forward. I deleted it because I'm coming back stronger, man.
No, amen.
Thank you, man. Means the world.
Sure,
Honestly.
man. Sure. Now
Shout out Flip though.
now the other thing, I received a text message. Yeah. I received a text message from your Never Fool.
Ah.
Yeah, from the Never Fool. As a matter of fact, it's not really $3,000.
No.
No. She wanted to clarify it.
Yeah.
It's only $2,000.
Only $2,000.
Only $2,000, $2,000.
Man, I think I can make that happen, but see, it's the thing with that is like, I mean, it is a lot of money. I'm not gonna pretend, we're not at that level yet where we can just sit here and buy these
It
bags like
depends.
that.
Is it really a lot of money?
No,
Okay.
not
No.
compared to how great of a wife. Shout out to Pamela. Not compared to how great of a wife she is. It's just not being in love with the materialistic stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, but it's talking about buying.
But she wants it though. She wants it.
Yeah, because
So-
I do want some wheels for my truck. they're only about $5,000.
Okay, so get her the Never Fool,
Yep,
and then you wait a little later, and then you get your tires.
for sure.
It's a win-win.
Yeah, man.
I'm
So
excited
we'll
about
have to do
today,
that.
man. I'm excited about today
Awesome.
because we're gonna speak about goal setting,
Yep.
and we're gonna speak a little bit about habits.
Yep.
I think it's a perfect time to speak about it. New Year, January, and we want to give you some information that could add value to your life, sow good seeds into your life, so you could flip your life forward.
Hey, I likes that.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I think it's important going into this life. Already decided on what you want. As far as goal setting, what I've definitely got to say is, if you're gonna go somewhere, you have to know where you're going, right?
That's right.
Like every year, either whether it's in the summer or in the winter, my wife and I would like to take a trip to Orlando or Tampa. We're season ticket holders to Busch Gardens, so we love to take that trip. But imagine if we wanted to go to Tampa and we had no idea where we're going.
I'm sorry.
Why are you laughing?
The mosquito.
Mosquito.
The
this guy.
mosquitoes flying.
Mosquito,
The mosquitoes flying around. If you don't know what we're talking about, you gotta listen to the first episode.
Go back and
I
listen.
think did we mention it in the first episode?
Of course.
I
That
think we
mosquito is
mentioned-
called a mosquito from the devil. Yo, comment if you're really watching. Comment mosquito from the devil in the comment section. That's how we're gonna know if you're a real one.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. You were telling about.
Yeah, man. Long story short, so I don't make it so long. If my wife and I embark on a trip to Busch Gardens,
Mhm.
but we don't know it's Busch Gardens, we're just going. When are we gonna get there?
Mm.
What I'm trying to say is, what do you want out of 2023?
Yeah.
And how are you gonna get there?
Yeah.
But you gotta know what you want first, right? Is it a new home? Is is it a new vehicle?
Yeah.
A new career? Or even better than that, like spiritual growth with God.
Yeah.
What do you want? You have to know that, because if you know that, then you could take steps towards it.
That's right.
But you first have to know that, and then reverse it, right? How do
That's
I
right.
get there? Look at people that've been there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Read books. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? Like, just take actions, but you have to know where you're going in order so you can put in the GPS and follow a path until you get there.
That's it. That's it. As I was meditating on this when it came to goal setting, we were doing a little bit of research in regards to it. And this is the month where everybody says, you know what? This is the things that I want to accomplish this year.
Yeah.
And they'll create a list. It's 1 through 10 or 1 through 12, one for every month, however you do it. But guess what? Statistic shows that 80% of individuals abandon their goals by February.
Wow.
30 days. Just gone.
Matter of fact, I've been there, done that, brother.
No, for sure. I mean, it's eye opening. It's
Yeah.
eye opening because it's good for nothing if we write things down and we don't follow through. For myself, I also like to sit down, reflect a little bit. What worked in 2022? What didn't? How can I prepare myself better for 2023? And I bought myself a whiteboard.
Nice.
And on this whiteboard, just to share a little bit, to sow some seeds into your life, maybe you could, get this or create your own system that works for you. But I have goals. I have both short-term and long-term goals. My long-term goals, they finish in 2026.
Nice.
Those are my long terms. Okay, so I have from 2022, 23, 24, 25, and 26. So you're going to have to take some time to sit down, take some time for yourself, and reflect a little bit on what is it that you want to accomplish. Do you want to go to Tampa? Do you want to go to Disney? Where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? What are some of those things that you want to accomplish? And once you take the time, because it took me actually several days to come up with these things that I wanted to accomplish. You put them down somewhere where you could see it. You read them morning and at night, so you could constantly be reminding yourself of, hey, this is what I said that I wanted to accomplish. Because if you don't, you're going to be another of the 80%. You're going to be one of those.
Yeah, man. I think it's great that you mentioned that, because writing it is like there's that and you can correct me on this, the power of visualizing stuff.
Yeah.
It just puts you, it makes you grounded towards your goal and makes you see it. And if you could see it, then you can achieve it.
Yeah, you see what you are working for.
Exactly.
No, you're able to see it. As I was meditating on this, I went into the Word, and I got a couple of verses that stood out that I want to share it with you.
Nice.
The first one is, a lot of people know about it, is where it says, without a vision, the people perish. Without a vision,
It's powerful.
the people perish. Check out the other one. This is in Habakkuk. It says, write the vision, make it plain.
Wow.
Write the vision, make it plain. And then the other one, it's in the Word it says, which of you, wanting to build a tower, does not first sit down and count the cost to see if you're able to build it or not?
Wow.
So it's like, if you don't have a vision, you're going nowhere. People are perishing. They don't know what they're going. People are lost. And I found myself there in my earlier years. That's when, I was going through the whole depression, because I didn't know where I was going.
For sure.
What am I going to do? By when I'm going to accomplish it? It was just living life day to day, whatever came my way, oh well, poor little old me, that type of mindset. I came across one of John Maxwell's book, how do successful people think,
Mm-hmm.
and that transformed my life, and that's how I started getting into the personal development, listening to podcasts, etc., etc. But if you don't have a vision, if you don't write it down, if you don't make it plain, if you don't sit down to count the cost, right now we're going through a process of building something,
Mm-hmm.
and I looked at that budget, man. Am I gonna be able to accomplish this or not? Because if I can't, if I don't have the funds to do it, then I'm not gonna do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna leave it for another season. So we just want to encourage you guys to meditate on what's the vision for your life.
Yep.
What's the vision for your family? What's the vision for your business? And then, like you were saying, okay, so if this is what I want, let me work backwards.
Reverse
How
it.
is it? Reverse it. Reverse engineer. How is it that I'm going to get there?
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, that's beyond great, man. And one thing I want to motivate you, the listener, the viewer, it's something that I mean to us is important, and I hope to you is as important. It's start with God. You know what I mean? Because if you plan but you don't include God, your plans are for nothing. I
Yeah.
think there's a word. I don't know if you can help me out with that word. Um, man.
The one that speaks about seek first the kingdom of God.
No, oh man. Anyway, it talks about basically like if you build your house but you don't build it with God, you're
Like the house built on the rock and the sand.
it's similar. It's similar. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is start with God. Because what happens is if your plans are not according to His will, they're not gonna work. So that's why I want to encourage you to start with God, man.
Mm-hmm.
Every day, literally, like as we spoke on the last podcast, God is literally on every breath we take.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So if we're connected with God and we're working according to His will, everything is gonna work in a smoother flow. Not to say that stuff won't happen.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That's another word that the Lord put in my head. Because I was watching a YouTube video about it earlier, and the gentleman was saying it's like, hey, life doesn't flow smooth all the time. You're gonna hit
Mhm.
bumps. So if you start this year with God, and then keep in mind that things are not gonna go perfect, but you have that end vision, which is what you're speaking of,
Mhm.
right? For your long-term goal. Think of Joseph in the Bible.
Mm.
All the stuff that he went through. You know what I mean? His
Yeah.
brothers betrayed him, sold him. He was a slave. He was tempted by the woman. He had to run.
Mm-hmm.
So many things, and then he ended up being king and bringing his people freedom. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
So absolutely, the best thing I can encourage you is write your goal down, but put God first. Denzel Washington says a famous speech: "Put God first."
Yeah.
That's how that speech starts, and it's powerful, man. So yeah. I encourage you.
No, I agree 100% with what you're saying. And I know I touched on it in regards to the house that's being built on the sand,
Mm-hmm.
on the rock.
Yeah.
With the flip concept, the first letter is the F, and it's for faith.
Yep.
So if you don't have a strong faith foundation, this is where your house could come crumbling down when those trials and tribulations come your way.
Yep.
Because they will. It's only as a matter of when.
Yeah.
So
Exactly.
if you take your time to build that foundation, then once the wind comes, once the storm comes, once the trials, the tribulations, the problem, the work issues, the finance, the relationship issues, marriage issues, if you take the time now to build that strong foundation, then once those things come along, guess what? Because you are building on the rock,
Amen.
you're gonna be okay.
Absolutely. Yeah, man. And back to the flip concept. You're gonna. It's about your faith first of all, your family, your finances, and definitely fitness, man. A lot of us
Mhm.
we have that goal this year to be in better shape.
Yeah.
And don't do it just for for aesthetics. You have to do it for your health, man. 'Cause at the end of the day, if you have these long-term goals, but your health is not there, you can have all the money in the world.
Yeah.
But if your health is not good, you're doing it in vain.
Yeah.
So put God first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Work closely with your family. If you're a married man, I've been on the side of not being on one accord with my wife,
Hmm.
and being on one accord with my wife is the best thing
Yeah.
after being on one accord with God. You know what I'm saying? Your finances, man. Start with something as simple as saving $25 a week.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how my buddy Oscar, shout out to Oscar, he started with me after I lost everything, started over again. I had, very little savings. He said, dude, put it on automatic where you're at least saving $25 a
Yeah.
week. Next thing you know, I was saving 50. Next thing you know, I was saving 75. Next thing you know, 100, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, little by little.
Yeah, man. You don't put all the blocks together in the house and build it all at once.
That's right.
You
It takes
start with
time.
one block,
Yeah.
then the next block, then the rebar, then the cement. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So it takes a process. But start with finances. Start right now. And too many people that I've known, you know, through the time that I've been alive, basically, especially in the Hispanic culture, man.
Mm.
It's like, yo, make money to pay the bills,
Yeah.
survive to the next paycheck,
Yep.
make money to pay the bills, survive to the next paycheck.
I laugh because I've been there.
We all been there.
You know?
Yeah, it's not throwing any shade on anybody,
No, of
but
course
it's time to take action. It's time to be disciplined.
I think in the Hispanic culture, not everybody,
Mhm.
but I think we lack, and that's one of the reasons why we're doing this podcast in Spanish as well, because
For
I
sure.
think there's something missing there in
Yeah.
our culture that
For sure.
that that it's like we don't find value on personal development. We
Yeah.
don't find value on seeking knowledge,
Yeah.
seeking wisdom, paying for it. It's like whatever happens, happen. Live your life day to day. Again, with all due respect, right?
Mhm.
We love our Hispanic culture and our people, but someone needs to break the cycle.
For sure.
Someone needs to break the cycle. And if you're listening to this podcast, there's a very high possibility that someone is you.
Mhm.
You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely. And I mean, just the fact that you're taking your time to listen to us tells us that you're trying to grow.
For sure.
And I tell you this because I've heard it from so many podcasts, man. Like it's like, the same vicious cycle unless you stop it. And it's something very important that you have to ¿cómo se dice invertir?
Invest.
You have to. Yeah, it's having a blank there. You have to invest in yourself, right? There's a big saying that says if you're not growing,
You're dying.
you're dying.
Yeah.
So you constantly have to grow. Going to the seed concept, right? When you plant a seed on good fertile soil,
Mm.
what's gonna happen is you're gonna get a good tree. But
That's right.
but between that, the growing process is gonna be watering it, fertilizing it some
Mhm.
more. Nurturing it, taking care. Along the growth of the tree. Me as a landscaper, I know like when you have a beautiful either flowering tree or a fruit tree, what's gonna happen is bugs are gonna try to attack it,
Mm.
and they're not really attacking. They're just trying to survive, but they're taking away from your life. You know what I mean? So you gotta get these bugs up out the way
Yeah.
so your tree can grow.
Yeah.
It's the same concept with life, man.
Mm.
You have to take all these things like Netflix. Netflix once a week is fine, or once a month, but you got to put like a YouTube video like us, ring what's the notification bell?
Notification and
Put that thing
subscribe.
on, man. Get some of those bugs out of your life and grow, man. Grow.
Yeah.
Like even if it's not through us, man, which we prefer it's through us, but feed yourself weekly with stuff that's gonna help you grow.
Go
Here in
for
South
once a
Florida,
year.
there's so much sun, man, and sometimes, like as a landscaper, we're going around working, and then we get exhausted, and we find that beautiful shaded tree, and
Yeah.
we get under it, and then feel refreshed. That's how you are gonna be to that person that you helped down the road because you took action right now. You're gonna be that tree that provides shade to somebody.
Yeah.
My buddy has been to me, like you have been to me with knowledge, help, even financial, man. You taken me out of rocks before, so definitely I encourage you to grow and don't only do it for yourself, do it for your family and whomever you can help.
I love the what you were saying in regards to things take time, but you have to start now. Whether if it's a 25, 50, 100, or whatever
Absolutely.
your budget allows you to. I love that. Today, my wife sent me a video of this teenager that had a mentor that encouraged him to put $1,000 in the stock market,
Let's go.
and within the year, the $1,000 became 5,000.
Wow.
So he was speaking to this young man, telling him, "Hey, this is what happens when You don't have to be the smartest person in the room. You just have to be consistent
Amen.
on what you're doing. So he was talking to this young man, and he gave him the 1,000. And the young man, you could tell he was emotional because he flipped it into 5,000,
Hey.
right? So then he takes the 5,000 back from the young man, and he says, now we're gonna put it back into the stock market. And imagine if we continue doing this year after year after year. By the time you're in your 20s, you're gonna have a nice stash, but it takes time. You were talking about trees and stuff like that. The average tree out there takes approximately to grow 16 years.
Wow.
That's the time.
Wow.
And throughout that process, like you were saying, you have to water, you have to take care of it, you have to put the proper fertilizer.
Yep.
It has to have the proper sunlight, and then that tree would grow, and it eventually would give the fruits. I have a concept that I called the 3 P's. The first P is plow. Plow. You have to prepare the land before you plant the seed.
Amen.
So as you're plowing, that's hard work.
Yeah.
That's hard work.
Tell me about it.
You're in there, man. You're preparing the land, man. I mean, you're sweating, and whether if it's sowing a seed, or whether if in your personal life, that's what's gonna happen.
For sure.
In the beginning stages, if you're going through marriage issues, you're going to have to plow that land. If you want to grow your business, you're going to have to plow your land. As you know, right now we're working on a marketing campaign. At the same time, I'm going door to door. At the same time, we're expanding in Orlando this year. I'm moving to West Palm Beach to expand there. I'm plowing my land.
Big money, West Palm.
I'm on the which one is it? The beach is on the west.
On the east side.
On the east? Okay, I'm on the west.
No, you're
Okay,
on the west.
I'm on the west side.
On the west side is bigger land, bigger trees.
Yeah, there's cows and horses. Okay, that's where it is. But you have to plow your land in whatever area of your life that you need to work on at your job. If you want to get a promotion, you have to plow that land.
Plow that land.
That's the first P. The second P is plow, plant.
Plant.
Okay, and so when planting is, see, now you got to get to work. Okay, now you got to get to work, and it goes hand in hand with what I was saying in regards to the marketing campaign, in regards to getting out there, going door to door, and whatever your situation might be in your marriage. So I pretty much did the first P, which was plow, and the second P, which was plant. I pretty much defined it there on, as I was explaining it earlier. And then the third P is process. Process. It's gonna take time.
Yep.
It's gonna take time in your marriage. It's gonna take time in your job. It's going to take time in your business. Is going to take time. Right now, you have bigger contracts than when you first started.
Yeah,
Me as well. It's not the same thing. At the beginning, you don't know what you're doing. In the beginning, you might be struggling, financially.
Yeah.
Just because you're struggling with your finance now doesn't mean that you're gonna be struggling with your finance by December, the end of this year. But you have to put in the work. You have to put those $25 aside. You have to take whatever debt that you're trying to eliminate this year, begin with the smallest and start eliminating little by little. You have to start eliminating. Maybe one of your goals is to eliminate some student loans.
Yep.
That is driving a lot of people crazy. Take them one by one. Start from your smallest and start eliminating.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, man, I love that your 3P system doesn't end on like a final deal. It ends on a process. And that process, it's that tree, right? That tree still has to go through a process down.
That's right. Well,
So-
actually, it's plow, plant, process, fruits.
Fruits. So
Which
it's
is what you're saying.
Yeah. I mean, everything you do has an end result, like we said on last podcast. So you're gonna get whatever you put in the work for, man.
That's right.
And there's I'll say it quickly. There's like a Chinese reflection of the bamboo. I'm sure you heard the story.
Yeah.
There was this gentleman who planted some bamboo, I believe seeds or maybe little babies. They're called seedlings, when it's like not the seed, but it's the actual little plant. And what happens is you put it there, and you first you plow, then you plant it,
Mhm.
and then you wait for that growth, that process, and along
Oh, that's
the
it
way
right
you
there.
have to keep fertilizing, keep watering, and whatnot. But there was this gentleman who did that, like, you know, a whole land of it, and his neighbors, they kept laughing at him because they're like, dude, you put a dead tree in the ground, and
Mhm.
you know
You're
not
not
getting
seeing any
anything.
results. Yeah.
Man. So like, I don't know how many. It was so many years, but just call it 20 years where the guy just kept doing the same thing every day, every day, every day, every day. On year 20, what happened is that tree grew tremendously.
Yeah.
Like he had basically a whole field worth, worth of it. And so what I'm trying to tell you is, go through your process. You know, people might laugh at you. It might be hard. It might be, strenuous. It might be just hard, man. But stick at it. You
Yeah.
know, there's one of my favorite speakers besides you, brother. It's Inky Johnson.
Yeah.
Inky
Johnson's the
Johnson.
man.
It sticks with me, and it says, "Stay faithful along the process."
Yeah.
You know, you gotta stay faithful. He talks about when Kevin Hart was going through his deal when he first
Yeah.
started. His mother said, "Read the Bible."
Yeah.
And he wasn't reading the Bible. He was just doing his thing. And he'll be like, "Hey, mom, my rent is due. I'm 2 months behind." She
Yeah.
said, "Did you read your Bible?" He said, "Nah, I haven't, but we don't have time to talk about that right now."
Yeah.
Long story short, 6 months went by. He said, "Mom, I have an eviction notice. Can you please help me?" And his mom said, "Did you read your Bible?"
Yeah.
He said, "Mom, this again. I can't do this right now." He's like, "We'll talk later." Anyway, Kevin Hart gets back to his house. He doesn't know what to do. He opens the Bible, and there's 6 checks
Yeah.
for every month that he was behind.
That's crazy.
And it's it's just crazy, man. You have to stay faithful, and it's easy when things are going hard to walk away from your faith, walk
Yeah.
away from your good habits.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I encourage you to stay faithful, stay on your good habits, and don't let up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Go stronger this year.
Yeah.
So you could do it.
Amen. Amen. Uh, I want to go back a little bit because earlier you mentioned Netflix.
Yeah.
And you said, hey, whatever platform it is that you watch, whether Netflix or HBO Max or whatever it is, you were saying, hey, maybe cut back on that so you can focus on those goals, short term, long term, that you want to accomplish.
For sure.
And I don't know if you know this, but I'll share it just in case. I've seen a video where this gentleman is explaining a little bit about TikTok. I don't know if you know where I'm going with this.
No,
And this gentleman was saying, hey, just so you could know, over there in China, they don't function. The algorithm is not the same as here in the U.S. So he was saying over here, they like to use the algorithm to push things such as dances, funny stuff,
entertainment.
things to entertain you. But in China,
They push stuff to educate you.
they push stuff to educate you.
Yeah.
So it is our job to disconnect from those things that might be entertaining us a little bit too much
Yeah.
and focus on those things that could add value to your life.
Every single minute that you spend on your growth, it's gonna give you, like even in the investment terms that my buddy showed me, the more money you put into the stock market and stocks that give you dividends, the more you're gonna have back to reinvest. Because some people are gonna listen to this, and some people are gonna take that work, put in that work,
Mhm.
and start getting some fruits.
Yeah.
But you're not supposed to eat all those fruits. If you grab some of those fruits to eat, like a 25% of those fruits to eat, and the other 75%, out of the other 75, you save another 25, and you invest another 50%. Out of all that percentage, you're gonna have things to go around. But what happens is a lot of us, we make a decent amount for the first time,
Yeah.
and we eat it all.
Yeah.
And that's not the key, man. The key is to definitely be ready to reinvest and keep growing.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Yes,
I
sir.
agree. One of the things, as I was doing a little bit of research in regards to goal settings and habit, so I'll read this to get your feedback and see what you have to say about this. I wrote down the number one reason why people don't accomplish what they want to accomplish is because they don't know what to do or where they are going. And there might be people listening to us or looking at us here through YouTube that they might say, well, no, I know what I need to do. I just need to do those things that you guys are telling us now. Follow through, be consistent, plow, plant, process fruits, take time aside. I know that there's some people that know what they need to do, but there's other people out there that might say, man, I just feel lost.
Mm-hmm.
I just feel lost. So I just wanted to see if you had any advice for them in regards to how they can maybe find their purpose. And as I was writing this down, and as we were listening to some things in regards to goal setting for this year, et cetera, et cetera, I came across someone that was encouraging the audience to go on a retreat.
Mm.
To go on a retreat. And you might say, well, Junior, the year just started, I spent all my money, with Christmas buying people stuff, gifts on myself, whatever it might be. But the retreat, for this retreat, you don't have to go anywhere.
I like it.
For this retreat, all you need to do is take time for you wherever you might be at in your life. Take 2 days, take a weekend, and just say, okay, God, why did you created me? What's the reason why I'm here on earth? Can you guide me? Can you lead me? For you to take time and say, okay, well, maybe get a notepad and say, okay, start writing down the things that you're good at. Maybe when you were a child, you were a teenager going through high school, maybe you started college, whatever it might be, there were certain things that you wanted to do, but for whatever reason you stopped, or you never began doing them.
Yeah.
Maybe you could start doing that.
For sure.
But you first have to, I was reading that John Maxwell book, he was saying, one of the main things that helped me to succeed in life is that I set time aside to think. He calls it thinking time.
Yeah.
So take some time aside and go on a retreat to find who you are. And if there's one person that can help you with this, at least with our faith, man, is going to the Lord and say, God, man, reveal to me what it is that you want me to do here on earth.
For sure. Yeah, man, I think knowing what you want is one of the things I mentioned at the beginning is super, super important.
Yeah.
And, at least here in the U.S., most of the time we're running.
Yeah.
We're on the rat race, right?
Yeah.
We're like, all right, wake up early, get the kids ready, drop them off, so on and so forth, go to work. And we don't spend that time alone. And I can already see, and I don't want to call it an excuse because it might be a valid reason to a lot of people. Like, I can already see how people say, I don't have time to do that. So here's how you're going to create time. If you're used to waking up at 7 a.m., make an effort for a couple weeks, a month, whatever it might be. Wake up an hour earlier and pray and meditate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If you take an hour and if you wake up an hour early every day, you're going to have an extra 7 hours in 1 week. 14 hours in 2 weeks, and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
So you could create time by waking up earlier. And you don't have to get up from your bed. You literally have to wake up and say, Lord, what is it that you want me to do? What was I created for? What's my reason?
Yeah.
And you might not hear an answer today or tomorrow or the next day or the day after, but you would, for sure, the word says, if you call out to me, I will respond. You know what I'm saying? And God never lies, man.
Yeah.
So if you call out to the Lord and say, Lord, what is it that you want me to do? What's my purpose in life?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Start asking that.
Yeah.
And then another thing that I think is important is your why, right? Who is your why? Even if it's yourself, what is that, that motor? Your vehicle does not work without a motor, whether it's gas or electric, whatever,
Yeah.
What's your why? And work for that.
Yeah.
Go after it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ever since I started focusing on what God wants me to do and my why, it's been easier for me to wake up at 4:35 in the morning, whatever time it may be, and getting after it, man. But you have to know, like I said earlier, where you're going first, because you're not gonna get there unless you know where you're going. If you're going, if I tell you go look for John, and you don't know what John looks like, you're gonna be looking and looking.
That's right.
So write down who your John or what your John is. You know what I mean? Hey, what black hair, gray hair, white hair, blonde hair, whatever.
Yeah.
Write it down. Be specific and go after it because you can do it.
No, I love that. I love that you brought the topic of time because, like you said, and it's here in the U.S., man. You go to our countries, whether it's Honduras or Dominican Republic, it's like time slows down, but we're here. So to help you with your time, I went to this conference that they spoke about time management. So we'll conclude with this. I want to encourage you to do the following, okay? It's very easy to do, but it's going to require time, okay? Take 15 to 20 minutes. That's it. And get alone. Get a notepad and a pen. This is called Plan 168. You have 168 hours in a week.
Nice.
And I need you to put down how much hours do you work during a week? How long does it take you to get there, going and coming? Whatever hobbies you have, how much time do you dedicate a week? On social media, how much time do you dedicate to do that a week? Watching TV, favorite show, whatever. Meditate on the things that you do on a weekly basis and write it down. Write it down. Write the time right next to it. Once you do that, at the end of that, obviously at the bottom of the page, you put total and you add up all your hours. Okay? What you're going to most likely find is that you have an extra 20, 25, 30, 40 hours during the week. Put how long you sleep for. Yeah. If it's 6, 7, 8 hours, you write that daily. Obviously, you multiply it times 7. Okay, this is weekly. All these hours that you're going to add up are weekly hours. And at the end, you're going to get 100, 110, 20, 30, 40, whatever it is. But I could almost guarantee you that you have at least 20 to 30 hours left, including your sleep. Yep. That's going to transform your life. And as you look at this, it's going to be able to help you reflect on using your time better.
Yeah. No, that's great, man.
Yeah.
That's great. I think we should conclude it on that.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you're watching through YouTube.
Yes, sir.
So, like always, remember that every seed that you plant takes time to grow, but you have to water it, you have to take care of it, and at the end, you will see the results. So, don't forget to sow good seeds.
And flip your life forward.
Yo, manito!
Yo!
How you like the hat?
Man, I'm loving it. It accentuates my hair.